No, we didn't even watch film. Just came in, lifted. I got some working on the court. Guys got what they needed, and just moving on to the next game on Thursday.
That was not a normal game last night, not a normal environment. Can you appreciate that?
Yeah, definitely. Our fans always show great support. They do a great job, regardless of how we're playing. Even when we're struggling in games, they're always locked in and engaged and try to, inspire us and for them to be ready. Playoff atmosphere. We're still not locked into the playoffs yet, and we still have games left to play. Shows you, how much they care for us and how dedicated they are. And I appreciate it, and our fans do. I know Nurk and the rest of the guys are happy to be able to play in this type of environment to where under 500 and you still got 20,000 in sellout. That's not normal.
You've seen it a million times. Teams play a big game, play really well, then they come back and have a letdown. Is that on your mind, and what do you guys need to do?
Nah, I'm a positive guy. I try to stay positive, and I don't think we're going to have any letdowns at this point in the season. If you lose games, that's one thing, but it's one thing to not be ready to play. And I think everybody will be ready to play. We understand what's at stake. We're at home. We're playing against a good team in the Houston Rockets. They shoot a lot of threes, and we know that we're the front end of a back-to-back for them. They're playing us in the Golden State, so we understand the importance of each game here down the stretch, and we want to take advantage.
Looking back to the New Orleans game, where you guys did have a letdown, did you learn anything from that?
And they just beat us. I don't think it was a lack of focus or we lost. I played hard like I normally do. I didn't make shots, and it happens. It wasn't like we looked at them like we're going to beat them. They got two all-stars in the post, and they got some good guards. And regardless of the record, we knew they were going to be ready to play, but we just lost, and it happens. And I think that sometimes people read into stuff a little bit too much. Like, we lost the game. Like, they blew us out. And then they blew out Denver the other night. And they beat good teams from time to time, but you hate to see it happen to yourself, but then it happens, you got to move on.
Dame was talking about how there's been kind of a shift in the mental approach, and he said the mental effort has been better. He pointed back to that Orlando game. Is that kind of your perspective too? I mean, have you seen that shift as well?
I think as you get closer to the playoffs, the level of focus has to go up. The scouting increases, and I think that, from where we're at, we got 7. I don't know how many games we got left now, but we got a lot of home games left, and we have to win them if we want to make the playoffs. And that was one of the goals we set for this season, and it's still an attainable goal, regardless of what's happened up to this point. Close losses, blowouts, inconsistent play, all that stuff doesn't matter now. What matters is what's left in front of us, and that's how you have to approach it. And you have to be engaged in understanding that this is a small window we have to capitalize on.
Did you request, or how did that come about that you and Dame on the road always have lockers next to each other?
I think they just do it. I think Eric's in charge of it, and they just put us together. They probably figured obviously we're friends, and we talk all the time. And from a media standpoint, they probably figured it'd be easiest if we're probably right beside each other.
As you guys sit there with your feet in the ice after every game, do you kind of look forward to those interactions and those conversations that you and Dame have?
I mean, we talk all the time, constantly. Throughout the day, watching games, just sending random videos and stuff that we see that's funny, and just continue to try to pick each other's brain, figure out ways for us to get better as a team and better individually. And I think some days you might take it for granted, but when you get older and you look back on it, you'll appreciate it that much more. But I enjoy talking to him. I enjoy our friendship. Obviously, we play well together. I enjoy being his teammate, and E and those guys understand that we get along well, so they make an effort to make sure that we're around each other.
Did you find that the conversation after the Lakers game with your feet in the ice was different, or
No,
how would you describe it?
we talked. We talked in the hotel. We talked at dinner. Like, we understood, what's at stake here for not only our team but us as individuals. Like, if the team doesn't make the playoffs, it's not the Blazers that make the playoffs. It's Dame and CJ can't play together. Dame and CJ aren't good enough to get their team in the playoffs. Like, it's going to be on us. They're going to pick us apart. So we understand that, and we want to put ourselves in the best position to make this team better. And, good players put their teams in the playoffs, and that's what we plan on doing.
So you feel that expectation.
I embrace that expectation. That's why we get paid what we get paid. That's why we're in the positions that we are each night to take certain shots, to make plays for others. That's what happens when you're a good player and you want to be elite and you want to be mentioned with the other greats. You have to win games, and that's what we want to do.
The fact that you had to fight so hard, it was frustrating for much of the year as a team. Does that, all the work you put in early on, does that make last night feel even more satisfying?
Yeah, I mean, it's a season of ups and downs, and I think that going through the struggle makes you appreciate success more, and that's what we've done. We've gone through the struggle. We've lost a lot of games. We've made changes to the roster. We've had injuries, and just to still be in this position after the way we've played is a blessing. So you have to take advantage of it. We still can accomplish some goals. We still can finish 500 or above 500. We still can make the playoffs. So when you get a home game against a team you're competing for a playoff spot, you need to be ready to play. And there's no excuses for losing a game at home against a team that is in a similar position as you.